Hello, today we're going to talk about Our Lady of Conception Aparecida, the most popular saint in Latin America. The unexpected discovery of the statue of Our Lady of Conception, stained with clay at the bottom of a river, would change the faith of millions of people. Whether you already know this story or are hearing about it for the first time, get ready to discover how the patroness of Brazil began her journey in the hearts of a people. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to follow other moving stories of the Catholic Church. Brazil in 1717 was a Portuguese colony, marked by an economy based on agriculture, mining, and the extensive use of enslaved labor. The country's interior, including the Paraíba Valley region, was a rural setting with small villages and farms scattered along the rivers, which served as the main transportation routes. At that time, the Catholic Church played a central role in people's lives. Religion was deeply rooted in the colony's culture, and expressions of faith were manifested through religious festivals, processions, and popular devotions. It was in this environment that the story of Our Lady Aparecida began. Fishing in the Paraíba do Sul River was of great importance for local subsistence, and the river was also a meeting point for various communities. The discovery of the image amidst the waters symbolized a divine message that quickly resonated among the region's inhabitants. This social and religious moment of the period was fundamental for the spread of devotion, uniting simple people around a common faith that brought comfort and hope. The story of Our Lady Aparecida begins in October of 1717, when the governor of the captaincy of São Paulo and Minas de Ouro, Dom Pedro de Almeida, known as the Count of Assumar, was passing through the Paraíba Valley. To welcome him, the residents of the small village of Guaratinguetá organized a celebration, which included a banquet. However, there was a problem. Fishing was scarce in the region. 3 fishermen, Domingos Garcia, Juan Alves, and Felipe Pedroso, were tasked with trying to catch fish in the Paraíba do Sul River, even knowing the difficulties. With their nets, they navigated the river, trusting in divine providence. After several unsuccessful attempts, something unexpected happened. When casting the net, Juan Alves pulled out a strange object. It was the body of a small terracotta statue of Our Lady of Conception, covered in mud. Surprised, the fishermen continued their task and, shortly after, found the statue's head, which fit perfectly onto the body. They considered it a sign from God, but the greatest surprise was yet to come. After finding the statue, the fishermen began casting their nets again, and miraculously, fish appeared in abundance. The catch was so extraordinary that it exceeded all expectations, providing the necessary food for the entourage and the villagers. The fisherman took the statue home, and Felipe Pedroso kept it with him for several years. Gradually, people in the region began gathering to pray before the statue, attributing miracles and blessings to it. Among these miracles were accounts of healings, protection in dangerous situations, and blessings for families in difficult circumstances. The fame of Our Lady Aparecida grew rapidly, attracting devotees from other regions. The devotion was driven by the simplicity of the story and the fact that the statue was found by humble men, representing the divine presence among the poorest and most needy. This message of hope and God's closeness captured the hearts of the people. The statue initially remained in Felipe Pedroso's home, but with the increasing number of devotees, a small chapel was built on Morro dos Coqueiros in Guaratinguetá around 1745. There, the faithful could venerate it and seek its intercession. Since then, the devotion has continued to grow, culminating in the construction of the current Basilica of Our Lady Aparecida, one of the largest pilgrimage centers in the world. The first appearance of Our Lady Aparecida, therefore, did not occur in a grand or supernatural vision, but through a simple and mysterious encounter in the river's waters. It was a sign that awakened the faith of a people and established the statue as a symbol of hope and protection for Brazil. Over the years, devotion to the statue of Our Lady Aparecida became deeply rooted in Brazilian religious culture. The simplicity of its origin and the miracles attributed to it attracted multitudes, and each visit to the small chapel on Morro dos Coqueiros strengthened the spiritual bond between the faithful and the Mother of God. A significant episode in the history of the statue occurred in 1788, during the colonial period, when the system of slavery was still in force in Brazil. A slave named Zacharias was brought by his masters to the chapel. Chained, he prayed fervently before the statue, asking for his freedom. According to accounts, the chains binding his wrists miraculously broke, leaving everyone present deeply moved. This episode symbolized the power of Our Lady's intercession on behalf of the humble and suffering, reinforcing her identification with the oppressed. Another important moment occurred in 1822, when Dom Pedro I, on the eve of proclaiming Brazil's independence, passed through the region and visited the chapel of Our Lady Aparecida. This visit helped establish the statue as a symbol of national unity and protection, venerated not only by peasants and slaves, but also by political leaders and prominent figures. As devotion grew, challenges arose. In the 19th century, with the intensification of faith surrounding the statue, local authorities and the church recognized the need to better organize the space for the faithful. In 1834, the chapel was elevated to the status of a church, receiving greater pastoral care. However, the small space was no longer sufficient to accommodate the growing number of devotees. During this period, the construction of a larger temple began, which became known as the Old Basilica. Inaugurated in 1888, this Baroque-style church became the main pilgrimage site in the country. The construction of the Old Basilica marked an important step in institutionalizing the devotion to Our Lady Aparecida. One of the most significant moments occurred in 1930, when Our Lady Aparecida was officially declared Patroness of Brazil by Pope Pius XI. From that point on, her devotion extended beyond regional borders, becoming one of the cornerstones of Brazilian Catholic spirituality. By 1955, the need for an even larger temple led to the construction of the current Basilica of Our Lady Aparecida, also known as the New Basilica. In 1980, during his first visit to Brazil, Pope John Paul II consecrated the basilica, recognizing it as one of the largest Marian shrines in the world. This continuity of devotion is living proof that the message of hope and protection continues to resonate in the hearts of millions of Brazilians. Our Lady Aparecida is not only the patroness of Brazil, but also a symbol of unity, hope, and divine intercession. Millions of faithful find solace in her protection, and the stories of miracles and graces granted continue to inspire people of all ages and backgrounds. Her presence is felt in the hearts of those who invoke her with confidence in moments of joy and tribulation. Today, the Basilica of Our Lady Aparecida is one of the largest Marian pilgrimage centers in the world, welcoming millions of devotees every year. There, the faithful gather to give thanks, ask for blessings, and strengthen their faith, keeping alive the flame of that first appearance that occurred more than 300 years ago. If this story touched you, remember that faith is a constant invitation to trust in God and His Most Holy Mother. Devotion to Our Lady Aparecida is a call to live with hope and to share love and solidarity with others.